Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this month's August's Stretch-a-Sketch. Oh, this one gave me a little bit of trouble. In fact, I I messaged my friends last night, the gang playing along with Stretch-a-Sketch, and I said, look, here's my channel link. I'm starting over. I started something and I was just faffing and putzing, and it wasn't going where I wanted it to go. So I changed my mind, and I've got some of this done. I'm going to do some of this with you. I wanted to show you the sketch, and I have it here. I'll put it up in the corner in just a moment, and it will stay there. But I wanted to give you sort of the idea that I'm following, because basically I am going to stretch this. I'm going to do a pure stretch this month into a 12 by 24. So you can see over on the left-hand side, I'm starting off with the sketch pretty much the way it should be. And then I really wanted to do something different on the other side. I didn't want to do a side-by-side with the photos. And I also had a mixture of landscape and portrait photos. So my next decision was to flip it so that I would have one page pretty much as the sketch goes, but we're going to see how that stays. And then another page with the sketch flipped and a little bit of this embellishment here. So that is where I started with this. Now, you can see up here that I've started already with a few of the circles, and I have one little circle here, but then I think we're going a little bit of a different direction. I'm not sure whether this is a title or a subtitle, because quite frankly, Tokyo 2020 could be the title, but let's see. And then all of this lovely sort of embellishment here, and I'm going to show you in a moment where I think I'm going to go with this. It's going to be a fairly simple layout. So let me pop the sketch up in the corner where it should be, and let's have a look at what we're doing here. So basically, as I mentioned, I have a 12 by 24 canvas, and this is to record the Olympics from this year, Tokyo 2020. Of course, the Olympics were scheduled for last year. They were rescheduled for this year. I did a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek page when I was scraplifting my friend Helen a couple of weeks ago, which I'll pop at the end of this video, which will have a lot, I think, of my journaling. And then I think I'm going to do a 6 by 12 page in here for my journaling and what the Olympics sort of mean to me, because I love watching the Olympics. Do you watch the Olympics? I love watching the Olympics. Summer, winter, I love watching the Olympics. I cry for 2 weeks. I cry for those who win. I cry for those who lose. I cry for their parents, for their teams. I just go on, on and on and on. And quite frankly, I mean, in general, I love tennis, and you know, I watch tennis, I follow tennis religiously, and that's my sport. And it's pretty much the only sport that I follow. But for the Olympics, I watch pretty much everything, and I enjoy watching everything. Well, there are a few exceptions. I don't do boxing, wrestling, weightlifting, that kind of thing. I can't sort of watch that. But I do watch, and I think it's the idea of the community of countries coming together, of it being amateurs. I don't know what it is. Tell me, do you watch the Olympics, and are you a sports fan all year round, and that is just one, like, awesome event for you, like Wimbledon in the tennis world is for me? Or are you like me, and you just watch the Olympics and love the Olympics, and why do you? Or it's like, yeah, I can't be bothered. I got better things to do. What is your view on that. So I wanted to record on a double page here, basically the 2 weeks. So I have my photos here, which are pretty much the way the sketch is, but I only have the one here. There is only the photo where there is some place for some journaling, and I'll have to think about what I'm going to do with that. Then there is this lovely cluster up here. Now, I have my 2 pieces of paper the way it is in the sketch, and then I sort of just oriented them and flipped them over here. But I put a little piece down the middle to extend this out a little bit because I cut them a little bit. I started by cutting them at 4, and I should have probably done 4.5. So I just put this down the middle, but I like the contrast that it provides. I used a whole 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock in my background. It looks a little bit different, but I sort of like the geometric. Now, it leaves maybe a little bit of an awkward space here, but quite frankly, I'm not going to worry about that. So I went into my stash and I got a couple of these circles that I had already punched out, and I think we're going to put those there, which will already sort of give us an idea of how we are going to embellish this. There we go. And then I have this here, that was also on my desk, and because my idea is I want to put week 1 and week 2 here. So let's put that. So you can see we're already going a little bit different, in a different way than the sketch. Now I'm going to put these here, so let's bring this over here for a bit. Let's just do that so I don't sort of lose where I have them. And then this little fella right there, and I think we might sort of put a flare or something on top of that. And I am going to pop this little guy in there. I mean, he's not on the sketch, but I sort of like the contrast that he provides. So there we go. So we sort of have the bones. Now, I have this wonderful piece of acrylic in my Bramble box, my Bramble Fox box for August, and you are only going to see the unboxing tomorrow, so this is a little bit of a sneak peek of one of the gorgeous pieces that are in there. And I think in the unboxing I may have thought it was gray because of the protective covering, but it's this beautiful, beautiful black, and I love the contrast it gives here, and I don't mind mixing black with navy. I think it's perfectly fine, and I like the contrast that gives here. So this is sort of like a subtitle, and as I said, the basic title could be the Tokyo 2020. So I have here the first gold medal that we won, our medal count at the end of week 1 when we were number 12, and then some of our historic medals in week 2. We finally won soccer gold, and we beat the U.S. in the quarterfinals, which is something I think we've been trying to do for 4 Olympics, and we have been winding up with the bronze. So this was quite exciting. And I was messaging back and forth with my lovely friend Karina, with my dear friend Karina, because we were playing Sweden in the finals. Then in some rowing here, and this was another historical medal, or not historical, I guess, but a very, very lovely story of one of our Canadian athletes overcoming all sorts of adversity to get to this stage. Gold women for the biking sprint. We got the decathlon this year as well, and in some of the running as well, an Ontario athlete got some lovely medals, and then our final count at the end of the week. So just a nice little overview as to what it was. So I think the next thing I'm thinking of here is just sort of doing in these lovely, to bring this black in these Doodlebug Sunshine week 1 and week 2. Something. So week 2, I've already decided I want it here. And I'm just going to do the WK. Week 2. Right here. There we go. And then I'm going to do week 1 right there. So just, am I going to do it here like that or over here? Yeah, how about I do it here and then we'll put, no, I'm going to do it there. We'll see, I could change my mind. And week 1. Right there. All right, so I quite like that. Then, if you look at the sketch again, my next idea is to bring in just a little bit of embellishing in the way. Now, here I think I need something else, so I might see if I can find some stickers or something here. Like, would we just do week 1, except not this one. How about the navy? How about if we just do the navy here and we point to week 1? I kind of like that. Let's do that. And then I do think we need something there. Now, I don't know, maybe would it be a flare, a couple of stickers? I don't know. I'm going to think about that for a moment. But what I do know that I would like to do is get a little bit of embellishing down here, a little bit the way it is on the sketch, and a little bit here as well. And to do that, I'm thinking I got 5 flare out. So these lovely, lovely flare. Let me see, what if I did something? You see, that would maybe be cute. 5 flare. Then I also have 2 sequin, because now we're going circular, 2 sequin mixes, and some of these lovely stars. So now some of these are, I have some red ones here, so let's get a few of the red ones. Ooh, and there's even a black one. I think I'm going to take one of the larger black ones. 3 of the 3. Oh, there's a nice big red one here as well. So I have 5 stars. And then I also have the smaller, the flatback brads. And I've mentioned to you before, I do like nestling them and pairing them with the lovely Dottie About flare. So let's start with something like that, because that is sort of the idea. And I will come in afterwards and do a little bit of sequins in there, and I'll probably do that off camera. So my first idea here, so let's see, let's put this aside and let's get these out of the way so that we're on a flat surface. Okay, so I love the sort of smiley faces because it was a fun occasion. Then I took 2 smiley faces, one just a lovely basic yellow, and then 2 multi-colored ones as well. So let's start with maybe the yellow there. Something like that. And let's get, I think maybe I might want to do a red star here. Yeah, I like that. Definitely something like that. Then we could maybe, okay, so I do like that. So you can see sort of where I'm going with that. And then I definitely want to get there. That I think is perfect right there. I like that up there. Then I have a smiley face there, so I want to get a smiley face over here somewhere, maybe something like that. And then we can bring in a little bit more here. So something there. No. See, I think I'll bring the smiley face. I think I will do something more along the lines of the multicolored here. Bring this little happy face down here maybe somewhere, and one over here. So let me go off and play with that. I'm going to definitely put one of the stars here. So let me go off and play with that, and I will come back and show you the finished layout, my friends, back in a jiff. So there we go, my friends. So here is the finished double page spread. Now, I'm not sure this turned out exactly the way I had it envisaged in my head, but I think you can still see sort of the scattering of embellishment in different sizes the way it is in the sketch. And I kind of like it. I think it's different. It's different for me. First of all, I don't do a lot of double 12 by 12, number one. But I am going to like having this in my book. So I did get those 5 lovely Dotty About Flair Flairalicious pieces on there, and quite a few of the gorgeous red and a couple of the black stars. And then I went back in and got a couple of the yellow out as well. So this is another sneak peek of an add-on that I had in my Fox box. I added a couple of packages of these gorgeous, gorgeous stars. So that gives a little bit of a different texture and a different size. And then, as I mentioned, I went in with some of the flat back brads in a couple of different sizes because I like the way they pair with the flare, and then some gorgeous, gorgeous sequins. I used Candy Shop and Mermaid Fiesta, which I believe both are still available in the Spiegelmom Scraps shop. I added just a couple of the stickers, the arrow stickers, you know, week 2 pointing, week 1. Added a little bit of that. Added a globe since it is, you know, worldwide, the Olympics, and they were held in Tokyo. Now, that doesn't really leave me anywhere to do any kind of journaling on here. So I went in and I got a couple of Nicole Jones 911 printable tags, and I wondered whether I might get a couple, one on sort of on each page, to maybe do a little bit of journaling. I'm thinking of something like maybe that, I don't know, what do you think? Maybe something like that over here, and I could do a little bit of journaling. Then I would have to come in and add a couple more sequins, I think, there. I don't know. What do you think? And then maybe this one, no, that would just make this too high and too blocky. Coming down here, I'd have to cut it a little bit, sort of like that. Maybe coming here. No, I don't like that. Maybe here? Oh, maybe something like that. If I was going to do it, maybe I would do it here, overlapping these, and then it's sort of in a diagonal, makes a bit of a diagonal with that. That's maybe an idea. What do you think? Leave it, and do some journaling on an insert, or add that in. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And at the end of the month, we'll see what I actually did and what you voted for. So let me know down below. There is my take on this month's Stretch the Sketch, where I did a complete stretch. One side pretty much like the sketch, and one side where I flipped it. Took a little bit of artistic license with the embellishing, but I think you can still see the sketch. So thank you to my lovely friend Janet for organizing this for us every single month. It's such a fun idea. this is one of the collaborations that I enjoy the most because it's one that challenges me the most. So make sure you pop on down below and see what everybody else has for you today. And tomorrow you will see my Bramble Fox Fox Box unboxing. And I'll be back with another layout very, very soon. Bye for now, my friends. Thanks for being here.